And we're live behind the counter here on Insane Games TV. This Monday, January 13th edition of the podcast. We got a lot to go over here today. Lamar Jackson not making it to the playoffs with the Ravens. Green Bay just barely getting by the Seahawks. The Chiefs coming down, going down, 21-0 first quarter?
24-0.
24-0 first quarter. Came back winning the game. So we got a lot to go over here tonight on Behind the Counter. Busy morning or busy afternoon. We got Behind the Counter. We got Retro Monday, and then we got Monday Night Gaming coming up next here on Insane Games TV. How do you think the games went this weekend?
I was very disappointed with Lamar. I wanted to be Super Bowl brothers with him so bad after he carried me to the fantasy Super Bowl. I'm not super surprised by it, but the Titans are like the hottest team in football right now. Derrick Henry is huge and absurd right now. But other than that, I think the games went as expected. I went 2-2 with my predictions.
I didn't do well with the predictions at all. So we got the Green Bay Seahawks first game. Green Bay walks out 28-23. Aaron Rodgers. Do you think he did that well the first game? Not quite sure. You got. I don't know. You got. They barely beat the Seahawks. You look at these teams such as the Chiefs, who got. How many points did the Chiefs get again?
Can we go back to Green Bay and the Seahawks for a second?
What?
I'm going to put the blame for the Seahawks where I don't think anybody dares put it. Right on Marshawn Lynch. What did he get? Like 12 carries for like 20-something yards?
He got a touchdown.
Washed up. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he got a touchdown.
I'm going to have to check that. Oh, you have the stats right there?
I have the game score. I don't have the full stat, but I know he got. Yeah, I saw him get a touchdown.
Regardless, 20 yards for a team that relied on the run pretty heavily throughout the season. Kind of not their fault because their top guys are injured and out, but Marshawn Lynch kind of disappointing.
I mean, you got the Green Bay and you got Seattle. Seattle, I can't stand Seattle for more reasons than one. Mainly because they always seem to screw me over in fantasy. But they're a team that just never seems to have. There's always a weird game with the Seahawks. And when I say weird, I mean final scores and final outcomes. And I don't know. For the fact that Green Bay only got 5 points more than Seattle, can they compare to teams like Kansas City getting 51 points? Don't know. I mean, can they compare to the Tennessee Titans? Probably. Can they compare to San Francisco? I would say no. So I mean, I don't know where Green Bay goes from here. They match up with San Francisco for the NFC Championship Sunday. I mean, I don't know what's going to go on there. But now we got.
Who won the first time they played? Do you remember? They played once. I'm pretty
that
sure
I don't
Green Bay
know.
won, but
That I'm not 100% sure on. So you got 49ers Vikings. Do we really think that was going to be a matchup?
oh yeah, 2 touchdowns actually. Marshawn Lynch.
So is he really that washed up, man?
Any big guy could punch it in at that. If you got 20 yards, I'm assuming they were right on the goal line when he got it.
49ers Vikings. What do you think about that one?
I thought the Vikings were going to win, but obviously that didn't happen. So disappointing.
I mean, really,
Dalvin Cook did awful.
Anyone going up against the 49ers. I don't know. I think the 49ers would be a good pick. I think they could possibly have. I mean, I really shouldn't say. I had the Saints Ravens going to the Super Bowl, and both of them got eliminated. So I'm not one to say anything.
My bracket's not busted on the other side yet. I think Green Bay makes it. I thought the Ravens were going all the way.
No, they were my pick.
No.
I was hoping to watch. They're a good team to watch. Interesting team to watch. So I was kind of hoping. They would go far, but what are you gonna do? Let's jump right into that one. Probably the biggest upset of the week: the Ravens versus Titans. I mean, are you giving credit now? I mean, who won or lost that game? Did Titans win that game, or did the Ravens lose that game?
Well, obviously the Titans won it, but
you know what I'm saying.
There was a lot of things that came into effect. I mean, Lamar basically didn't play for 3 weeks by the time that game, with the resting of Pittsburgh, the bye week, and then a week going until they actually play. He rested a lot of times throughout the season when they were ahead, when he could have been getting experience when he's still young.
It's true.
I think that's a mix of that, and that the Titans are just the hottest team in football right now.
You really see the Titans going far?
Against they beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
You honestly going to say they're going to go far?
In the regular season. Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill, all playing out of their minds right now.
In my opinion, when I look at the Titans, Derrick Henry had a game is on a roll.
No.
I mean, Tannehill, I've never been a Tannehill fan.
He's doing what needs to be done, mistake-free football compared to
In my opinion, Tannehill is a guy that to have a great year, the next year, like, where is he? You know, it's just kind of like...
Yeah, for sure. You got to ride it while he's hot now. I don't think he's going to be the GOAT after this year, but right now he's hot.
CJ the Playmaker, I still had the 49ers in the NFC, but the Ravens failed hard. They did fail. They failed big time. And
you're pooping on the Titans, but the Chiefs look the same as like the Ravens did, like an unstoppable team. The Titans could very well do to the Chiefs as they did to the Patriots and the Ravens.
And I would say I would maybe give them more consideration. If they walk in there and they beat the Chiefs, I will give them some credibility.
Some credit. Beating Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson in the playoffs.
First off, I don't think beating the New England Patriots was that big of a challenge. Are you really going to tell me New England Patriots
it looks
are
a little bit less crazy after they beat the Ravens the week after.
And I don't think that the Titans played a better game than the Ravens. I think the Ravens just played a shitty game.
It makes it seem like the Patriots losing wasn't as big of a deal because they just went and beat the Ravens as well. And if they beat the Chiefs next week, then it really wasn't a big deal.
If they beat the Chiefs next week, I would say, okay, they have some. But I look at the two teams they played, and New England, I think any team would have beat New England. I don't think New England, we all saw that at the end of the season. They were a team that was barely holding together. They were not a playoff team, and they're certainly not a Super Bowl winning team this season. Okay, they go in and they beat the Ravens. Well, the Ravens got how many points? 12? 13? Okay, and they had 6 going into like the fourth quarter. Interception after interception, it was a disaster. Turnover. Okay, to me, the Titans didn't win that game because of their performance. They won that game because the Ravens lost that game. That's my opinion.
You don't think the Titans caused some of those things?
No, I don't.
With excellent game planning or anything?
You're telling me you're going to tell me the Titans played that game or outlined that game well, or was it luck that the Ravens walked in and didn't do that well? They didn't plan to play that way.
So what, they planned to lose?
No, but they weren't planning to get that many turnovers from Lamar Jackson. How many points? How many times
That's
has Lamar
always the plan. It doesn't always work out, but obviously, best case scenario, what they were hoping for was.
You had Lamar Jackson for fantasy, am I correct? Okay. How many times did Lamar Jackson get under 20 points throughout the season?
Exactly. So I think that
so they had a bad
the Titans
game.
Deserve some respect.
No, I don't
Lamar
think so.
doesn't have bad games.
I don't think so.
Bad matchups through bad matchups season long. He tore it up.
I don't think that the Titans are as good as they think.
Completely them. I think they choked a little bit, but
I think at the
the
end of the
Titans
day,
are hot fire right now.
at the end of the day, I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they'll match up with a real team like the Chiefs.
You mean the one that they already beat in the regular season?
I don't think they're gonna match up with them. You have a point, but I just don't think they're gonna match up with them.
It's a solid argument. I just think it's going to be a good game. It could go either way.
I'm just hoping we don't end up with a Titans-Texans Super Bowl. I think that would be absolutely one of the most boring things ever.
Texans lost already.
What am I saying? I'm thinking the 49ers Titans. I'm sorry. 49ers Titans I think would be super boring, in my opinion. I think at this point you want to either go with the Green Bay, because obviously Aaron Rodgers and the national support that probably Green Bay has. Okay, you got the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people like to jump on that. I mean, that has some excitement. At least you get to watch someone who has some. But you look at the Titans
and the Niners.
Like what of interest?
Run heavy.
I mean,
slug it out game basically.
It's a game where it's going to be like...
Not very fancy.
Yeah,
but
it's not. I'm concerned about that one. I'm very deeply concerned. Let's not forget about the
It's not a bad
49ers.
game.
What?
That's still not a bad game to watch.
You would be happy with that one?
It's
You're
different.
telling me
It's very different.
you want to sit at the Batista household on Super Bowl watching the Titans versus the 49ers, and you're going to be like, oh, wow, this is a great game to watch. Give me a break, Mike.
Actually, Alex Batista
Okay.
grew up in the Bay Area, and he quite enjoys the Niners. So.
Give me a break. We better
We'll
hope
talk
that either
about
the
the
Green
Batista
Bay,
household.
either one, the Green Bay, or either two, the Chiefs need to be in the Super Bowl to add a little bit of excitement into it. Because you know what, at least with Patrick Mahomes, you can kind of watch. You know, obviously he
The
has some
Titans
driven
present the
excitement,
ultimate underdog
and he
story.
has some what?
So the Titans present the ultimate underdog
Do they?
story.
I'm sorry, I just don't think Tannehill deserves to be in the Super Bowl. Not to mention win the Super Bowl. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
about the running game. He's just good enough to complement the absurdity of Derrick Henry.
Amp Slayer goes, as long as the Patriots are not in the Super Bowl, America wins. That is true.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different.
And Dave goes, whoa, Jimmy Flip-Flops will be amazing. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I just think the 49ers as a team...
for your hate towards the Niners
I think the
right
49ers as a team is somewhat boring, mixed in with the Tennessee Titans.
now. You
Come
don't
on.
like Jimmy G? You don't like Colonel Sanders?
And CJ Playmaker, America won the moment Brady threw that pick. Yes, he did. Yes, we all did.
So many people are happy with that.
So moving forward here, we got the four teams that are left. We got Green Bay, right? We got the Titans, we got the 49ers, and we got the Chiefs. We have Green Bay versus who we got? We got Green Bay versus the Titans this week, right? Or no?
Green Bay versus the Niners and what was it? Chiefs versus Titans.
So who you have coming out?
I'm gonna say Green Bay, and I'm gonna say the Titans.
I'm gonna say Green Bay Chiefs. I think the favorites win. I think Green Bay will go in. They'll beat the 49ers. I
Did
think
you check the spread on it since Tommy said that last time?
what?
That we need to have the spread involved when we do these picks?
I don't no.
So it's
Get
not
out of here,
official.
Tom, with the spread.
He said it's wildly absurd to be making picks on the games without the spread being known first.
I don't know where you pull up the spreads. You know where you pull
I'll
them
pull
up.
it up.
We're watching Behind the Counter right here at Insane Games TV. Don't forget to watch Retro Monday coming up next as Mike continues to take on the battles to get to Mike Tyson for the ultimate showdown of Mike versus Mike Tyson. And then we got Monday Night Gaming here tonight with AC Weezy. I'm sure he'll be playing some Fortnite or Call of Duty and going over some of the NFL highlights like we just went over. His thoughts on all those, the 4 games that occurred over the weekend. And Titans Niners, Dan's dead Super Bowl. That is correct. Dead to Dan's Super Bowl. Right. I
Ready
agree
for the
with that.
spread?
What?
Ready for the spread?
Yeah, what's the spread?
Chiefs are favored over the Titans by a touchdown and a half, 7.5, and Niners are favored over the Packers by a touchdown.
Whew, I'm still going with Green Bay Chiefs.
I was gonna say we picked the underdogs then, or I picked both underdogs.
Yeah, you want Green Bay Titans, right?
Yeah.
I'm going Green Bay and Chiefs. I like Green Bay Chiefs. I think that's a good one. I think at the end of the day, that will be a Super Bowl that most people would prefer to see over Dan's dead Super Bowl. It's super dead Dan's Super Bowl. Again, you're watching us live here on Twitch, Insane Games TV _, and you're also watching us live on Facebook Gaming at Insane Games TV. Jumping out of, switching a little topic. I don't know if you heard some breaking news out of the MLB this week, or today actually. The Houston Astros, they got caught cheating, doing some hand signals, but I think 2 years ago during their World Series. And, obviously MLB went through the whole investigation process, and they ended up coming out and suspending their general manager and their team manager for 1 year. And their head coach came out and ended up firing both of them after the suspension. So big whopping day of news from the MLB. They're still waiting to get the overall verdict on the Red Sox and their penalties that could face their head coach. But yeah, quite a big hit. Hinch, the owner, fired both the GM and the head coach for sign stealing. I'm trying to has the story updated at all since? No. Yeah, they came out with a 1-year suspension, and then they fired their GM Jeff Lonow and manager AJ Hinch for 1 year suspension. Then they got fired. It's a 2017 World Series.
The punishment for cheating should be swift and
Well,
decisive.
the MLB was in a tough spot. I mean, you know, they kind of like what the Patriots may or may not be
That's what
in.
I'm saying, unlike the NFL, where they're just like hoping it kind of goes away. People stop talking about it.
You got to watch out for stealing should be the most hefty penalty out there. And when it comes to sign stealing, they had
case away she goes.
They were hiding behind garbage cans. They had secret monitors. I mean, the story that what goes in to what they did to steal these signs is I'm baffled. They hit him also with a $5 million fine, the maximum for a fine on a team. So I mean, the MLB commissioner Rob Manfred really dropping it down. I mean, laying the hammer down. I mean, for the owner of the Astros, you know, to Jim Crane to come out here and say, after the 1 year the suspension is given, you're fired. I mean, that just goes. I mean, maybe he was in that spot where he had to maintain the reputation of the organization. Where, okay, you were suspended, you're found guilty. You know, we can hang on to you, but they ended up firing him. So maybe that is a owner trying to separate themselves, or maybe the owner actually wasn't aware of what was going on. I don't know.
Hire him back when he's unsuspended.
I don't know. I don't know if they got fired. I wonder if they got fired. That eliminates their suspension. Probably not. And so I doubt they get rehired anywhere else.
Well, after it runs their course with the suspension or whatever.
They could. I doubt it. I'm sure there's some thoughts where they don't. Maybe the owner just didn't want to be around them, so he cut him. It's bad publicity to have. I mean, remember Sean Payton did that. Sean Payton got suspended, and they held on to him. They just had an interim coach in there while he was suspended during the Bounty Gate or whatever they want to call it. Bounty Gate. But yeah, some big news coming out of the MLB today. So we don't talk much baseball, but that was definitely some news to talk about. Maybe the NFL can learn a little bit from that, and as they go through the whole New England Patriots drama. So that's what we got here for sports tonight. Jumping into a little bit of pop culture, you and I have been watching the Netflix hit series You, the show that was originally on Lifetime, then got brought over to Netflix, bought the rights to it, then it became a Netflix original series. So season 1 and 2, what's that?
And a huge hit.
So just to kind of give you an idea, by the way, spoiler, if you guys have not watched the Netflix series You, and you plan on it, you may want to mute us now because we're talking some in-depth chat about that show. And, for people who may not understand, season 1 and season 2, while you find them completely different, season 1 was originally produced by the Lifetime channel. Okay, Netflix came in, took over season 2, and did season 2. So you can kind of see where there may be a little bit of a difference between the two seasons. Because I thought there was a huge difference in them. So let's jump right into the ending. What did you think about the ending?
With them going to the suburbs and...
When I say the ending, let's do the whole last 2 episodes. You got him tying up and capturing Delilah and putting her in the cage, and then him going on the acid with 40. And
I thought that episode was wicked cool.
See, I was starting to get annoyed with it.
When he was talking to the girl and her eyes were getting all huge.
It was. I was like, okay, is this gonna be? I hate stupid episodes. Or stupid episodes where there's no meaning to them.
It was a true mystery. That'd be quite the conundrum to be caught in if you put yourself in Joe's shoes in that situation.
Where do you think they came up with the plot at all to even do that? So 40 hires this guy to kidnap them, take them to a hotel room, and lock them in so they can write and they can't. I mean, I'll tell you now, if that happened to me, I'd be like, give me my effing passport and I'm out of here. Like, and then 40 just drops a couple hundred when he wants his cell phone. It's just like, it's absurd.
Apparently they made that family seem absurd, and that's a little too ridiculous what they can get away with, but and say they made all the investigations toxic at the end or whatever, and everyone's just free to go.
Dave goes, whoa, capturing damsels and putting them in cages. What is this, Red Dead Redemption? Well, I've never played Red Dead, Dave, so we'll leave that to Mike to answer. But, yeah, I just found it, I went through, and I did not think Love was a killer. I kind of had my suspicions at the beginning of the season that, okay, this girl, I think is going to be a very Joe-style type girl.
I had a feeling she'd see him.
That she has
him.
some stalking abilities and some deep down issues.
Yep. So in the end, they ended up being perfect for each other. So, and then Joe's a bitch about it.
So let's go. So Joe goes on acid, not by his choosing, and doesn't recall what happened. Going back to his storage unit where he has a cage where he's holding Delilah. She's ended up being dead, and has no idea what happened. And then all of a sudden finds himself locked into the cage himself from Candace, who shows up.
I hate that bitch.
Candace calls Love to show Love exactly what type of person Joe is. Love comes in, and bam, kills Candace. And now, like, Joe, who's gone through all this, he's actually having a hard time with it. Like, is that supposed to be like the irony of the show? Like, I'm like, really?
I suppose. I thought it was stupid, but
I'm like, are you really gonna? You're really, you're acting like you're not happy with it. Like, I was baffled by it.
It's a pretty much perfect situation, and he was being a dork about it. But I'm looking forward to the next season. I'll probably binge it in a day as well, like I did the first 2 seasons.
So, do you think? So, what's going to death with Love? What do you think her? What do you think her? I mean, obviously they've kind of explained it well about how she is and the type of person that she is. But like, is there really people out there like that? Like, that's just crazy. It's crazy to think.
You have to bend your imagination a little bit. What did you think about her ex-boyfriend that died or whatever being all like deaf? Interesting story? Or?
I didn't get that.
It's kind of a necessary addition, but I guess it was an interesting plot point, but it doesn't really...
Are you saying you think she killed him?
Oh, no, I don't think that. Actually, I was somewhat suspicious of it, but...
I think it was a pointless storyline. I really don't know.
At the moment, it's pointless, but
I really don't know what the point of the thing was at all inside the whole season. Is that okay? So she had a husband that was deaf. That did they even give the reason why he died?
They said he was like terminally ill for a while,
but they didn't say how or why. They just they really gave no depth to that story.
I mean, she could have been poisoning him or something. Who knows?
Or maybe that's something you find out more in season 3, or
It's open-ended right now.
But yeah, there wasn't much to that story. I don't know what that was. But what do you think of? What did you think of 40 at the end? They kind of made 40, Love's brother,
classic character,
like an ass for the entire beginning, like the first 9 episodes. He's like this clueless guy that has no idea what's going on. And in the last episode, they make him out to be like he's the smartest guy in the show.
The redemption arc.
He's walking around. He knows what's going on. He knew that Love killed the girl and not him, but yet he hid it all these years. Like, it was just like...
I don't think he ever knew that.
No, he said he did. He said he did.
He said that she was capable or not a good mom, but I don't think he knows that she killed that maid that was raping him or something like that. When he was young, like 13, Love killed like this girl that was raping 40.
Right.
No. I don't think he ever told him that because he said he was living in.
No, but they
that's the
blamed
reason he's
they
doing
blamed
drugs
40
and
for
stuff
that.
like that. Exactly.
But yeah, he came in the last episode and said
I don't think he knew that. Though.
He said he said.
Nope. Nope.
He said
he was purely focused on Joe. He didn't know that.
He said, "You think I've been dumb for all this long?"
He just says.
Because for years, you think I didn't know what was going on?
He's just calling her crazy. He didn't say, that he killed
I disagree with you. I think he implied that.
I don't think he would be that cool or do drugs and stuff like that if he knew he was innocent of killing. That's what they blamed it on. And said he was a fuck up because he was a drug addict, essentially. Or no, he said he was a fuck up because he felt guilty about killing somebody and it weighed heavy on his soul. But if he knew he was truly innocent of it, then why would he be that way?
I think he implied he knew that she was the real one.
Secret. And when he was messed up on acid, he was telling Joe that he did it.
Yeah, to keep up with the story, we don't know that for sure.
How's it going?
You don't really know for sure. Again, for people watching, you're watching the Behind the Counter podcast live here on Insane Games TV. You can give us a follow right here on Twitch at Insane Games TV _. You can also follow us live on Facebook at Insane Games TV. Also, make sure you catch, if you missed any of this episode or any episodes of our podcast, you can watch all of our podcasts on YouTube at Insane Games TV on our YouTube channel and find all extra content. You can also follow us live on Instagram and Twitch for all of our action on those. We got Retro Monday coming up next, right after us here. Mike will be taking on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and going through all that as he works the ladder to try to get to Mike Tyson. And also we got AC Weezy here tonight playing a little, playing some, probably Call of Duty. So, Mike, let's get into a little bit of gaming here. We got, obviously the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X coming out 2020, the holiday season. What have you heard so far that may interest you? Before I go over the specs of each one, what do you...
I say just the backwards compatibility of all of them is something I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, I'm looking forward more to Xbox instead of PlayStation, but if the PlayStation plays every single PlayStation game that's out there, I would get one. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Xbox One does. Hopefully, they get into virtual reality a little bit, because that's something I was trying to look forward to. Hopefully they make it easily accessible to everybody. You don't have to drop like $1,000 to really get a good working version of it. But
yeah, so I mean, obviously both of them have CD drives that are coming out here. You know, both of them are going to be obviously enhancements of graphics, processing speeds, and so on. But I don't think there's really any clear difference really than what the newer systems are that are out right now. I mean, obviously design wise, you know, the PlayStation 5, you know, I don't really know, the price is probably gonna be around $500, but you know, I don't really know outside of their processing speeds. There really hasn't been much announced for anything different than what is out right now. Obviously, you know, the Xbox Series, the Series X, it's the Xbox Series X. Hate that name. Hate it. Do you like? I mean, it's the dumbest name I've ever heard. Xbox Series X. And supposedly it's like a tower. It's gonna be like a tower. Yeah, it's gonna be a small tower with a disc tray. I think some kind of light on. No graphic designs whatsoever for PlayStation 5. I think the only thing that maybe they came up with, and I can't be 100% sure, is maybe they changed the controller. They showed the controller a little bit. PlayStation 5. Will also support resolutions up to 8K, so that's a big difference. I'm trying to go through here. It also has 120 refresh rate. Both of them do. Sony could be adding a lot of storage, SSD storage. I mean, I think they're both going to be one of those things where both of them are the same. I mean, the Xbox Series X is going to use a custom AMD internal storage and hard drives, same as Naval Architect and PlayStation 5, making it 4 times more. So the Xbox Series X is 4 times more powerful than the current Xbox X to give you. So there could be some power behind these systems, but like as far as unique capabilities, I think they're all going to be relatively the same. They don't do anything, I don't think, differently than any of the ones that are out. I mean, that's what I'm trying to.
What do you mean by that? They're just
with the PlayStation 4, we had the introduction of the virtual reality.
Gotcha.
A lot of the PlayStation 3 didn't have. You saw the upgrades with the Kinects in both the Xbox. You saw a lot of different thing. The new Xbox will also be backwards compatible with the Xbox One, supporting hardware accessories, meaning headsets, controllers. They're all compatible with the Xbox Series X. Save some money there.
That you had?
Yep, all of them are compatible. Yeah. So that means that all your Xbox One controllers will be
Series
compatible.
2 wouldn't be working with it.
They are going to be looking at. I think maybe their more powerful system is only downloadable for the Xbox Series X. I don't know yet which ones they were thinking about, but they are planning on doing an all-digital one. Obviously, Xbox tested the market with the all-digital slim one that's out there now. I don't know how well it's done in sales. I seem to always see it in stores when the other ones are out. So I'm not quite sure people are really behind the whole all-digital yet, but you can see the Xbox is definitely trying the market with it. So I don't know exactly how far they're going to go with that with the new ones coming out. So they'll probably have
something like that. They'll just lose the PlayStation again.
Halo Infinite. What do you think of this? Basically, Halo 6 coming out for the launch of Xbox Series X. Are you for that?
I mean, kinda, because the only one we got for Xbox One was Halo 5, and it was trash. So I was hoping to get a good one, but I guess we'll have to wait. Master Chief Collection was broken. It works good now.
That's true. PlayStation hasn't announced any games that are coming out specifically for them yet, besides Godfall, which I've never heard of that, and Watch Dogs Legion. I mean, but let's be serious. Watch Dogs. Well, I don't know. Watch Dogs may have a small niche of people that like that game, but they're not. That's not a big seller.
I'd rather be dead than play Watch Dogs. Grow up and play GTA. Hard take on Watch Dogs.
Which we jumped in and played that a little bit over the weekend here at the store.
It's always nice to hop back on.
What's that?
It's always nice to hop back on to GTA.
We got on. Mike had a special mission to do to get for Red Dead.
I had to solve a murder, and it got me a free gun in Red Dead. But I didn't get it accomplished here because everybody was too busy killing cops. So I had to do it at home. Once
the game goes on, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, that's one of the things I like about Grand Theft Auto is hopping in the car and causing some mischief. You can drive around. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever guns, whatever cars you want to do. I personally like flying into the airport and trying to get in there and steal the 787 airliner that's there.
You can never land it after you steal it, though.
I've landed it a couple times, no problem.
How many times have you crashed it, though?
Well, how many times has anyone crashed it? It's not an easy landing. What are you going to do, land it back in the airport you just took off from?
There's multiple airports,
Where?
I'm pretty sure.
No, there's one airport.
I don't know the name of the airports.
I believe there's two airports. One way up north in the desert.
So two. You said.
No.
You can fly from one airport to another.
But I'm going to drive all the way, I'm going to fly all the way up to that one airport?
What's the point of having a plane if you can't traverse land quickly?
When I try landing them, I try landing them on the freeway or the highway. And I've done it a few times. However,
when
also...
it's a success, it's not bad.
The problem is your plane blows up if you hit a light pole. I mean, that's absurd. The light poles just come down. It doesn't blow up the whole airplane.
You don't think it would do some damage to the wing of the plane in real life?
Going that fast?
You're coming in at least like 100 miles per hour.
I don't think a light post would destroy a wing on a plane. I think it would immediately slash.
I don't think it would destroy it, but it would do some damage.
Amp Slayer, there are 3 airports. Which one am I missing, Amp Slayer? There's a one up in the desert. There's the main one down. What's the third one? I can't think of the third one.
Exactly, dude.
Exactly what?
There's many places you could land it, but you choose somewhere difficult.
I don't know about that. I mean, and again, if you're taking off for the 787, and Mackenzie is also in Sandy, so there might be 2 of them there. So there's 2 different hangars. I think one's the hangar, yeah. But again, the small airport, you can't land that 787 on that little airport. I mean, you're gonna.
But you can land it on the little highway road.
The highway has more open space, and if you find the right avenue in the city, you can land straight where the highway is straight.
I mean, it's cool, but it's highly dangerous.
I don't know about
ends
that.
in death many times.
No, that's why you have a big bank load of money, because you pay the hospital bills and you get back on and you do it all over again.
If it was a surgery, you wouldn't take those odds.
But when we played over the weekend, both times we went in, the 787 wasn't. In fact, I may play that while you're doing Retro Monday a little bit. I may hop on and play the 6 on that one a little bit. You have a download copy of it?
You have to sign into Tom.
Oh, jeez, sweet Jesus. We have to pull those maneuvers again. Yeah, so I mean, I thought that was kind of fun. Mike hopped on. We did a little Grand Theft Auto. We used to play that back in the day. Grand Theft Auto 4. Had quite a heated discussion about that on Saturday.
I don't remember that.
We never play Halo or Grand Theft Auto 5 together. Never.
I played it with multiple people, and I discussed that with Tom afterwards.
Not the main group.
He tried to bring up the good times of GTA 5. And I told him, don't ever talk to me about GTA 5 after what you said in the store.
My experience playing Grand Theft Auto 5 was here with Johnny. Johnny was going through the mission. I was going through the mission. We played it on 360 first, obviously. And then we went back. We went back and played it in first person. So I'm trying to think. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out at the end of the 360 cycle. Am I correct? And then a year later, they came out, or 2 years later, they came out with the Xbox One version, which was able to be first person.
Yeah, remastered or
So
HD.
I'm checking that right now.
Has been out.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Can you guess what year that came out?
2010.
Grand Theft Auto 5? 2010?
It's been out for a long time. That might have been a little absurd. At least 2012.
Grand Theft Auto 5 came out September 17th, 2013. Our first year in this space. I remember it very clearly. Johnny and I were playing it on these 2 TVs. First year over here. God, that was set about a little over 6 years ago. Is that not absurd?
Going pretty strong too.
That is absurd.
They're still releasing content for people to play. To drain people's money.
Let's see, do they have... Can you guess how much you think it's made? Oh, wait. Within 24 hours, to give you some Grand Theft Auto facts here, within 24 hours of its release, Grand Theft Auto 5 generated more than $800 million in worldwide revenue, equating to approximately 11.2 million copies sold. That is absurd. I'm sorry, that is absurd.
That's one of those games that everybody's just going to buy no matter what.
By December 2014, the game shipped 45 million copies, including 10 million copies of the release version. By April 8, 2018, can you guess... I want to make sure I get the most recent updated number. Can you guess how much they've made as of right now?
Did they break $1 billion?
Oh, yeah.
Did they break 10 billion?
No.
3 billion.
Nope. $6 billion. With approximately 115 million copies worldwide sold. That is absurd. That is
they
like
still can't give
crazy.
us the next one yet.
Time played wise for G-Jet Auto myself is around 31 days played on the Xbox One version. About 17 days played on GTA RP side of the thing. Yeah. That's Amp Slayer. So yeah, I mean, you look at all you look at those you look at all the police world and all that. I mean, the stuff that you can do with Grand Theft Auto is crazy.
It is a lot of fun.
But yeah, I mean, it's a game I probably should. I probably would be more interested in, and I'm surprised I don't play it more often.
You could put so much time into it.
I mean, it's one of those I could consider going back and playing the whole thing over again.
Did you even beat the single player?
Yeah.
I never even beat it, surprisingly.
There's a couple different endings, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I beat it, and then I went back and I tried to do the Xbox One first person.
I don't like it in first person. It's janky.
I never really
You can play with the settings and maybe make it feel somewhat good, but
I got into it, but then I never really finished it.
Mostly a gimmick thing.
So,
you want to beat someone to death in first person or something.
I want to get the timing here. So, oh, that's right. They came out. I remember it now. GTA 5 came out months before the Xbox One came out. Because Grand Theft Auto 5, I said, came out September 17, 2013. And the Xbox One came out November 22nd, 2013. I remember they got a lot of heat for that. That you're releasing the game on the
Not everybody upgraded right away. They were probably pleased to be able to still play it.
I wonder when. I think
That's
didn't
the way
the
you make
Xbox
the most money. You put it out to as many people as possible.
Didn't the Xbox One version come out? Was it a year after?
I think it was a good amount of time.
Trying to find out. I'm trying to see development. Let me see what if it's under development. Oh. September 2013 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. In November 2014, so they waited more than a year for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And April 15, 2015 for the Windows. So really, the next gen ones have only been out for about 6 years.
Yes, it wasn't. That's still a pretty long time.
About less than 5 for the computer.
It's about to burst with the excitement for the next one. It's well overdue now.
I don't think they confirmed it yet. Have they confirmed anything?
Oh no, not yet. Nothing confirmed, but we're definitely waiting till the next gen.
Probably gotta wait for E3.
Yeah.
Or whatever, Microsoft or whatever.
They might have had. I think they may have had a little announcement about it, but nothing of worth. They let you know it's coming, basically.
Alright, so a little Grand Theft Auto talk there. So those are kind of the differences between the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One that are out right now. So not much when we're looking at what some fine details about the systems themselves. I'm guessing we'll get a lot more as time goes on.
Yeah, still very early.
Exactly. So one thing I think the key note is the Xbox Series X backwards compatible, and the fact that you can utilize all your hardware accessories that you have now for the Xbox One. That'll save a lot of people a lot of money. I'm surprised they're doing that. But I think they really, really like these controllers.
People are probably
that's something
not to buy Series 2.
I think they're really, really sold on these controllers, and I mean, I would call this probably the most comfortable controller out there, in my opinion. I know a lot of people say PlayStation 4 they like that, but I like
preference.
Yeah, I like the Xbox One.
PS4 is a nice controller, but I like the staggered sticks of Xbox more than the straight-on sticks of PlayStation.
One thing I wanted to go back to real quick, so we kind of got caught off there when the gentleman came in. Back to you real quick. Season 3. Where do you think it goes, Season 3?
For you?
For the You show.
A lot of speculation that that lady they saw at the end was his mom, and that he's not trying to get with her, he just wants to know her, basically. But
So you think that's going to be his mom?
right, the knowledge bomb dropped. Oh.
I never thought of that one.
They had subtle hints all season long.
She's alive, right?
They didn't say she's dead. She dropped him off at a group home, and he hasn't seen her since he was a child, as far as you know.
That's an interesting. It did look like an older lady, didn't it?
Yeah.
that could make an interesting story. Or the other theory is,
or he could just be creeping on another chick, and then we'll see how that goes. They say he's got a baby mama on the way.
Christman, have you seen Don't Fuck with Cats? Yes, I have, and Mike has. Mike actually was the one who convinced me to watch it. That show's messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up. I was very intrigued.
A
Very
crazy
intrigued.
troll, but he got what he deserved, basically.
I mean, the Facebook. I mean, think about it for a minute. I mean, I get what he did, but think about the people that in the time they put into on Facebook
They had
to
quite
track this guy down. Like, I mean,
They had quite the cult.
I mean, that's like me going home every day for a year, hopping on my computer and doing what I can to find somebody and looking. I mean, I've never realized that there's ways like that to search photos and search things. Like
They got creative with that.
The whole
they're
thing.
Checking the electric plug and see
and
what.
they're mapping around and like they're critiquing. I was baffled, but yeah, Mike actually is the one who mentioned that show to me, and I actually went on to watch it. Very interesting.
Say that guy is sick, but his trolling was next level.
And then one of the users go, yeah. Then the cops do it in like 4 days. True. I mean, I just don't understand why it took so long for everyone to kind of. If I remember correctly, they were trying to tell the police who he was, and like they weren't doing anything, and it's just like these guys know this, and then you have a case of I mean. My thought process is when I may be off because I watched it a while ago, when they saw the video of the actual crime, why didn't they send it immediately over? Like, I would have taken that.
I would assume they would have got something of it.
I would have taken it and I would have hand delivered it to the cops. You know what I mean? Like, I would have driven all the way up to Canada and I mean, really? You just saw that and you're not like that's not something you think is relevant?
No one wants to be bothered.
Luca's mom wrote a book. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, then she's trying to sit there and say, like, people were out, like, seriously, lady? Did you see her little interview at the end? Like, she's trying to say, like, everyone was out to get him. I'm like,
I will admit,
seriously?
I passed out before the very end of it.
Seriously, Mike?
I was tired and then I was watching Netflix before bed. But I got the gist of all of it.
Watch is going bonkers over here. You've passed out before it ended?
Can't control those things.
Wow, man. Wow. So let's talk a little bit. What we got coming up later this week here on Insane Games TV. The premiere, the big show, the Dream Team, finally showing up on Wednesdays in their 7 p.m. time slot. Of course, I make the announcements. The garbage cans go by. Let's pause for a minute.
Don't be making any sort of connection with that.
Let's make. Don't do the fake laugh, Dan. It wasn't a fake laugh. So we have the Dream Team showing up this Wednesday, 7 p.m. We did a test run of everything yesterday right here on the channel, and it looks pretty. Tom did a pretty good job setting up the overlays on this one.
Tommy does some fine work when he tries.
So why don't you kind of give me some in depth of what the show is going to be? So what you got going on here?
Pure 2v2 wetness.
So any games of choice?
The second you turn it on to the second you turn it off, just pure waterfalls of wetness.
So what type of games could we see?
Obviously Call of Duty. Probably some Halo. If we get crazy, maybe Gears. There's so many different 2v2 games we could do.
Does Gears of War...
Perhaps even we'll play each other from time to time in games.
Does Gears of War have a 2v2 mode?
No, but we could work it. The Dream Team just needs to be together.
And where did this
I
dream...
sense some jealousy?
No. Where did the Dream Team come from? Like,
Well, me and Tom have been friends for a very long time. And we noticed that when we team up, that results happen. It happened first at a football team dinner. You know the game when you're in the pool? What's it called when someone's on the shoulders and you do battle?
What's that game?
It was on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember.
I do remember it.
Hopefully, maybe Chad will say something. But me and Tom were doing that because I was the huge guy, very strong, and Tom weighed like 100 pounds. So I had Tom on my shoulders, and we were running house in the shoveling pool in that game.
Was it basketball?
No, it was where someone's holding someone on their shoulders and you try to knock them off the other person's shoulders, basically. And that was the beginning of the Dream Team. And then anytime we've played Pong, we've been dominant. The beer pong. Just all dominance. Gym class in high school.
So we got
insane game sports. The Dream Team is absurd when we team up.
Yeah, but you guys are also pretty competitive against each other in games too. So I'm wondering,
that's true.
As much as the Dream Team goes to bat for each other, there can come a time where
sometimes we have to check each other, but it's out of love.
So again, that's the Dream Team showing up here this Wednesday, 7 p.m. on Insane Games TV on our very packed Wednesday here on the channel. That Wednesday also includes Ring the Bell. We started with Ring the Bell at 5 o'clock, followed by the No Look podcast with Tyler, Austin, and Hannah. And then we got Mike and Tom that show up at 7 o'clock for the Dream Team. And then Dave closes out the night with the Cult in the weekend Wednesday. And I'm not sure what game he's playing this week.
Said?
No, I don't think he's told me yet.
Resident Evil went pretty well.
Yeah, but he finished it though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Despite all the drama with him forgetting the save file, he did end up finishing it. So so we got a great Wednesday coming up for you this week. Tomorrow we got the Nerd Glasses podcast and also the Citadel, and then next Tuesday we have the 2v Tuesday crew coming into town. So I don't know, I noticed some tension going. We may have to eventually the 2v2 squads. What squad's gonna put on the better performance? I don't know. We got some competition here at Insane Games TV.
Dream Team.
And one of them's already claiming the Call of Duty belt, so Tom's gonna have to get himself.
Whose name is on it?
I get that, but Tom eventually is gonna have to figure out how he's gonna defend that title, because
I don't think that he's eligible to even compete for the belt. That's the first process he has to prove.
Well, first of all, the
eligibility first.
The recreational committee is going to have to go over the eligibility requirements for all the titles and the proper procedures.
Showing of skill that they'll have to compete in, and then maybe perhaps we can talk about it.
And we got to go over the skills that are
just going around saying this person deserves the belt or whatnot.
Yeah, but it's fair to say that that person should be defending the title every once in a while as well.
That's true.
So you kind of got a,
I have no doubt Tommy will stand strong when the time comes.
So I think the recreational committee...
I have not yet challenged for the belt yet. I might have to, especially if it's gunfight rules.
Is that going to be on the Dream Team itself?
No, the Dream Team's a show about companionship and friendship and that beating all odds and all that. So no, there won't be any of that.
Well, either way, Dream Team premieres this Wednesday, 7 p.m. here at Insane Games TV. And don't forget, of course, we're live also on Thursday for Thirsty Thursdays, and also we are live on Friday with Call of Duty stream, and also, of course, Saturday, Sunday with Insane Games Live. So we're getting there. We're filling up our schedule. It'll be nice when next week when 2v Tuesdays comes on board and. We start to get a full schedule Monday through Thursday. So we're getting there. And, of course, if you're watching and you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the follow button in the top right corner here on Twitch. I'm not sure exactly where it is on Facebook Gaming if you're watching us there. But real quick to end the episode, Trey, you and I obviously are still playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You playing anything on the side?
I've been playing Red Dead Online a little bit again. The door.
But one thing you and I didn't talk about last week is that we both got the new Elite Series 2 controller.
It'd be nice so if did we Tom. Have them so we'd be like,
ooh. But
next time.
What do you think of the different specs on this one compared to the first one? Obviously, they got the grips that go all the way around.
It's all about the rubber around the side.
It is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't gotten too deep into it with like the tightening and loosening of the sticks, but
I'm afraid to touch mine.
I put the fat sticks on for my big thumbs. And that's super comfortable in comparison to Xbox One normal sticks are a little small.
See, I didn't touch mine. I went with the normal sticks on mine. But I think the thing that sells me on this controller compared to the other one and other controllers is the fact that it comes with the charge kit.
Oh, no, you're rechargeable battery.
Yeah, you're literally done. All you do is plop it on there and go and it vibrates and it's connected. Yeah, I don't have to worry about batteries. I don't have to worry about the charge cord.
It lasts for days too. I'm not sure if you've used it.
I've had it off for a couple of days where I haven't put it on there. Now it charges back up. So, I mean, I'm pretty thrilled with that. You know, I think that controller. I do like the grips going all the way around, but I don't really get into too much of the.
I have one lever on the back. I don't use.
See, I don't get into all the levers, and I don't. To me, that's kind of like.
I have one for A button, which is mostly jump in most games. So I can jump and not take my thumb off the aimer at the same time.
That's true. That's
Very
true. That's not bad.
technical.
Yeah, so I think those new controllers are pretty sick. I'm looking forward to trying not to wear out my controller.
I've been switching out with the normal one to kind of slow down the degrading of the rubberized grips.
It concerns me when I'm playing. I'm like, oh no, when I get the sweaty hand,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, the rubber's getting worked in. It's gonna be.
If I think I'm gonna have an extra sweaty session, then I go with my normal controller.
So what do we got next? Coming up next, we got Retro Monday. What do you got in store for? You gonna try to get to Mike Tyson tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna load up my save point where I made it to last time, so I'll cut out like 3 fights. But I'm fairly confident in my skills. Who beat me last time? Bald Bull. I was this close to getting him, so.
So yep. So that's Mike coming up here at 6:30. He'll be doing Retro Monday, taking on Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the classic NES. So we got that coming up later tonight, and also we got don't forget we got your boy Yo Soy AC Weezy coming up here tonight. What?
You gonna say the line or?
No, I don't want to wear it out. Yo Soy.
We'll save it for the viewer.
AC Weezy coming up here tonight. Monday Night Gaming. I'm sure he'll be going over some NFL highlights from this weekend, and I believe he's playing Call of Duty again. He's been on the Call of Duty kick, I think, the last couple of streams. I'm pretty sure he's going with that.
He did pretty well in the tournament.
Yeah, he went to what, the Final
impressed.
Four? He got eliminated by the team.
I was watching him very critically.
By
If I sensed any weakness, I would have lost a lot of respect, but he held his own.
they took. I think the team that got them eliminated were the Spartans, the ones that made it and finished second place.
And they had him on the ropes. It wasn't an easy win.
That reminds me, we got the Call of Duty next tournament coming up February 8th. Reminder, only 32 teams are allowed in. It's first come, first serve. So if we have people that show up, and you show up at 12:50, still 10 minutes before the tournament, and we're at 32 teams, you're out of luck. Sorry, kid. See you next month.
No amount of tears will get you in at that point.
Nope, no amount of money or money maybe. maybe
Don't say that.
maybe we'll bump someone out if you throw down a couple Benjamins. We'll be like, I think one of these teams. We'll try to find a team that walked away for a couple minutes and be like, oh well, sorry guys, don't know what happened. We ended up having
we were taking attendance and we couldn't find you.
So that's cool, and I think I like to go all out with it. I like Dave and Boder, great commentating. I want to continue with that and continue with some. I want to add in some more features in the presentation for obviously this channel, Instant Games TV. So I want to add in a lot of new features. I think we're gonna have some player cams set up on the tables to actually get
some reaction
and
some in the moment feedback.
And a lot of teams looking at entering to cause some drama. So I don't know. I think we got some.
What if someone takes advantage of their usage of the camera?
What do you mean?
And just starts going buck wild into the camera on live air.
I don't know.
How would that be handled?
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Profanity.
Well, those would be rules you'll go over at the beginning of the tournament.
Maybe a male whips his nipple out.
Do you really think people are going to be doing that?
It's a possibility when things go live.
I don't think someone playing in the Call of Duty tournament is going to be flipping up their shirt to show their nipple while they're focusing on winning the Call of Duty Grand Prize.
You have it on video. If that happens, you heard it here. I saw it coming.
And I didn't say that to encourage someone to come do it. I'm just merely saying I don't think it's a possibility. But okay, so that's the Behind the Counter podcast for tonight. We got Retro Monday with Mike coming up in about 25 minutes with a little Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the classic NES. Don't forget AC Weezy coming up later tonight. There you go. And we got a busy Tuesday tomorrow, busy Wednesday, Thursday. For Mike and I, we're signing out here. Make sure you come back. And next Monday, right live here, again, we'll be going over what teams will be going to the Super Bowl, the winners of the AFC Championship and NFC Championship, and our projections for the Super Bowl and so on. So make sure you check us out next week, Behind the Counter, right here on Insane Games TV. And that's us, guys. See you next week.